Hey, what's up guys? Kool-Aid here, and today we're going to be doing a patch notes review for the fine-tuning update for November the 12th. Before we get started, I would like to say that I'm a little bit bummed about this update. Not because it's not a good update or anything like that, but because there is a lot of Redeye changes in here, and that is a good thing. However, I literally just finished my all about Redeye video last night. I was actually going to upload it last night. I had somewhat of an emergency where I had to leave for a few hours. When I got home, I pretty much went straight to bed, so I didn't have time to upload it. Was planning on uploading it today, and saw that there's going to be a bunch of changes to Redeye, so we'll obviously cover them in a minute, but that is going to delay my video. I'm going to have to go through, make some adjustments and do some tweaking there. Hopefully we'll have that up though early next week, probably Monday, maybe even tomorrow, but probably not. So I apologize for that. But anyways, let's get to the patch notes. The first big thing we have here is the changes to Dome. You know, I haven't talked about Dome in a video yet. You know, I didn't have time to do my patch notes review when Containment Update came out. But Dome is a map that I am not a fan of. I'll just put it like that. I don't think it's terrible. I think it can be good, and hopefully these changes push it in the right direction. Now, this still isn't going to be the final version of Dome. I think they've stated that they're going to continuously work on it, but as it stood before today's update, it just wasn't a fun map to me at all, and I enjoy every other map in the game. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe the fact that all the other maps are so good, in my opinion. Dome was just kind of a major letdown. So I'm not going to go over all the changes they did to it because there is quite a few, and I will, of course, leave the link to the patch notes in the video if you want to check out every little tiny change without actually playing the game. You can go ahead and look them over, but hopefully it's a step in the right direction. Now for some general gameplay stuff, they added forgiveness window to burst fire rifles, allowing players to press fire up to 133 milliseconds early and still fire the next burst at the correct time, and this will make burst fire rifles feel a lot more consistent and make attaining maximum fire rate considerably easier. And then they basically did the same thing with semi-automatic weapons as well, and I think this is good. Before the Containment War update, the burst fire rifles were awesome, especially if you had good accuracy. They were some of the best rifles in the game. They had the I think the best DPS basically, besides something like Rhino's minigun. But they did take a little more skill to use because you have to press the trigger every time you want to fire, and attaining maximum fire rate without the use of mouse scroll and things like that wasn't necessarily always easy, it wasn't always possible. So they nerfed them in the Containment War update, and they nerfed them a little too much in my opinion. A lot of other people felt the same way. Maybe this will be a happy medium. That's what I'm hoping for. And I think the semi-automatic weapons could just use an overall buff in general, so maybe this will help with them as well. They also reduced explosive push amounts by up to 20%, and this brings explosive push amounts back to pre-Containment War update levels. And they increased the XP for giving ammo back up to 15 from 10. I think it used to be 30, which was way too much. You could just get tons of experience from playing an ammo supplying class. Definitely needed to be toned down, and it looks like they thought 10 was a little too much of a tone down, so they bumped it back up to 15, which I hope, which I think will be good. I think 10 was just a little bit too small of an amount. Moving on, Nader's grenade launcher had its explosive radius increased by 7%, which is fine by me. You know, Nader is a really good merc. I think she's already really good, but if you're playing Nader against other really good players, they really know how to avoid getting hit by your grenades, and it can be rendered, I wouldn't say useless, but you know, it's just easy to get around. So I think adding a little bit of explosive radius is fine. Phoenix, the switching weapon with a charged healing pulse will now trigger the healing pulse. Instead of just giving you the cooldown, it will actually make the pulse go off. Redeye, now here's all the Redeye changes, and there are quite a few. They increased the smoke grenade radius by 13%. They increased smoke grenade duration to 12%, up from 12 seconds, up from 10 seconds. They increased the amount of explosive damage it takes to disperse a smoke grenade to 225. That's up from 200. They reduced smoke grenade cooldown to 25 seconds from 30 seconds. That's big. They increased maximum IR goggle active duration to 13 seconds from 9 seconds. They increased IR goggle spotted duration to 4 seconds from 3 seconds. And then they increased some experience as well for these things. They fixed a bug where enemy health could sometimes be seen through smoke, and they fixed a bug where smoke would sometimes not cover the screen when standing inside it. And all of these are good because Redeye is the least played merc in Dirty Bomb, and I think it's by a pretty large margin. There's definitely a reason for that. He just basically didn't have as much to offer, and I kind of talked about this a little bit in my All About Redeye video that I am now going to have to redo, and I think all these things will help. You know, none of these are overwhelming. You know, they're not giving him a bazooka or anything like that all of a sudden, but all these small changes will add up. So I'll definitely take this into consideration when I redo my All About Redeye video. And if I feel like when I play him tonight that I have a very different opinion, then I'll probably end up redoing the whole video with all new gameplay footage and all that, and then it might actually take me a little bit of time, and I apologize in advance for that. But anyways, moving on, Stoker, canceling a Molotov throw now only drains 10% cooldown from 25%. Vasily had some experience increases, you know, for spotting, for spot assist, and for throwing a heartbeat sensor. The Blishlock had its amount of kick in the sighted firing animation reduced. It didn't actually have its recoil as a whole reduced, but the amount of kick you actually get, the feedback you get when you're aiming down sights with it is reduced. It doesn't say by how much, but you know, the Blishlock has a holographic sight on it, and it is pretty much useless because of how much that gun bounced. So hopefully this will help it out a little bit, and hopefully it'll make it a little bit better at range, where I think it was supposed to be a better, longer range SMG, but it didn't always play out like that, just because of the amount of, you know, random recoil and things like that. And, you know, that ain't changed, but now maybe you'll be able to ADS with it and cut out that spread. So moving on, the Dreiss AR had its maximum bullet spread reduced by 10%, which is good. The Dreiss is probably considered one of the worst guns in Dirty Bomb right now. The Hawkfur, which I'm actually a fan of, but it's still, I wouldn't consider it one of the top SMGs by any means. It did have its maximum spread reduced by 2.5%. Its reload time reduced at 1.7 seconds from 1.8, and its effective range increased to 18 meters from 17 meters. So those are all good little changes. The Hollands Aat, which I think is kind of the gun that the shotgun that nobody uses. Pretty much used the Rimberg or Arnold over it, but it had its fire rate increased to 95 rounds per minute, up from 90, and the Timic 47 had its maximum spread reduced by 4%, and its horizontal recoil reduced by 7%. And I am a big fan of the Timic 47. I am glad to see it getting any sort of buffs. You know, if you watch my Stoker video, you might remember me saying that I'm a fan of it mainly because of aesthetics. Just a little side note, I own an AK-47 in real life, and the Timic 47 is obviously modeled after an AK, so that's why I like using it. However, I didn't think it was as good. I don't think it's as good as the M4A1. Now, what I would have liked to see them do is differentiate the two. It looks like they're basically trying to turn the Timic 47 into the same gun as the M4A1 by, you know, giving them the same spread and recoil and stuff like that, which I wish they wouldn't do. I wish they would buff it in a different way than just reducing. I wish they would leave some more recoil, maybe leave some more spread, but give it a little bit more extra damage, things like that. But anyways, you know, a good change, any change for the better is good if you're a Timic 47 fan. And honestly, that's pretty much all I have. I mean, there are a lot of other bug fixes, some audio things, stuff like that. There are some changes to the UI. I'll let you guys take a look at that for yourselves, or obviously you can just hop into the game and check it out. But anyways, guys, that is pretty much all I have. Let me know what you guys think about the Redeye, all about Redeye video. Do you guys think I need to go through and get all new gameplay footage? Because I mean, all the stuff that I have, you know, focusing on the weapons, I mean, pretty much all of it, it's not going to be the right cooldown and things on screen, but it's not really going to change much either. So let me know what you guys think I need to do. You know, I'll mull that over, maybe get some new gameplay footage this weekend. Maybe it won't take me that long. I'll still be able to use most of the audio that I have recorded. So let me know what you guys think. But anyways, that is all I have. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.